Well, hello, friends. This is Robert. The reason I'm dressed up like this is I have a Crossroads Prison Ministries Christmas party a little later on today. So, if you are an employee of Crossroads Prison Ministries and you're seeing this right now, you are not allowed to say anything to anybody. This is a surprise. Just thought it would be a little fun, shake things up a little bit. So, we are reading through Proverbs. We're doing the message version, one chapter a day to keep the police away. Here we are on chapter 8, and so far no contact with the police, so things are going good. So let's get started here. It's chapter 8, and this one is about Lady Wisdom. And one thing that I like about sometimes how the message version kind of pulls things out a little bit is that it really shows some different characteristics of God, and you'll kind of see that in here. So let's get started. Lady Wisdom calls out, chapter 8. Do you hear Lady Wisdom calling? Can you hear Madam Insight raising her voice? She's taken her stand at First and Main, at the busiest intersection, right in the city square. Where the traffic is the thickest, she shouts, "You! I'm talking to all of you. Everyone out here on the streets. Listen, you idiots, learn good sense. You blockheads, shape up. Don't miss a word of this. I'm telling you how to live well. I'm telling you how to live at your best. My mouth chews and savors and relishes truth. I can't stand the taste of evil. You'll only hear true and right words from my mouth. Not one syllable will be twisted or skewed. You'll recognize this as true, you with open minds. Truth-ready minds will see it at once. Prefer my life disciplines over chasing after money, and God knowledge over a lucrative career. For wisdom is better than all of the trappings of wealth. Nothing you could wish for holds a candle to her. I am Lady Wisdom, and I live next to sanity. Knowledge and discretion live just down the street. The fear of God means hating evil, whose ways I hate with a passion, pride, arrogance, and crooked talk. Good counsel and common sense are my characteristics. I am both insight and the virtue to live it out. With my help, leaders will rule and lawmakers legislate fairly. With my help, governors govern, along with all in legitimate authority. I love those who love me. Those who look for me find me. Wealth and glory accompany me. Also substantial honor and a good name. My benefits are worth more than a big salary, even a very big salary. The returns on me exceed any imaginable bonus. You can find me on Righteous Road, that's where I walk, at the intersection of Justice Avenue, handing out life to those who love me, filling their arms with life, armloads of life. God sovereignly made me, the first, the basic, before he did anything else. I was brought into being a long time ago, well before Earth got its start. I arrived on the scene before ocean, yes, even before springs and rivers and lakes. Before mountains were sculpted and hills took shape, I was already there, newborn, long before God stretched out Earth's horizons and tended to the minute details of soil and weather, and set sky firmly in place. I was there. When he mapped out and gave borders to wild ocean, built the vast vault of heaven and installed the fountains that fed the ocean, when he drew a boundary for the sea, posted a sign that said no trespassing, and then he staked out Earth's foundations, I was right there with him, making sure everything fit. Day after day, I was there with my joyful applause, always enjoying his company, delighted with the world of things and creatures, happily celebrating the human family. So, my dear friends, listen carefully. Those who embrace my ways are most blessed. Mark a life of discipline and live wisely. Don't squander your precious life. Blessed the man, blessed the woman who listens to me. Awake and ready for me each morning, alert and responsive as I start my day's work. When you find me, you find life, real life. To say nothing of God's good pleasure, but if you wrong me, you damage your very soul. When you reject me, you're flirting with death. And that's the end of chapter 8. One thing that struck me, I think it's right around verse 21 here, but it's where they say, handing out life to those who love me, filling their arms with it, armloads of life. I remember, oh man, this is a blast from the past. So Pete Dykema, he was he was the vice principal at South Christian High School and the disciplinarian, and I always thought he had it out for me. But anyway, long story short, I was a bad kid. He did his job. I was doing my job as a bad kid. But I remember when I got out of prison and I saw him shortly after that and we had a chance to talk, I remember him saying, he said, I was always sad that you weren't living the fullness of life that was available to you in Jesus. And that didn't make sense to me right away, but it does. And it did later on after I pondered that for a little while. So I realized that my choices were limiting my growth and the freedom that I had in Christ. And by making just different choices and just plugging into different things, my life has gotten so much bigger. So that's all I have for today. I've got an armload of life right now, as you can see, and things are going well. And the police are still not here. So we are 8 days in. Good track record. So I invite you to drop a comment in the comment section if you have a verse that stood out to you or something that you would like to chat about. I'd love to engage in conversation. Proverbs is just a good book of wisdom, instruction for living. If you're new to the Bible or new to Proverbs, don't let any of that intimidate you. The Message version is very conversational, and we just try to have a little fun as we're reading through it and just learn a few things as we go. So I will see you tomorrow for chapter 9. Have a good day.